You need less criticism and more compassion. Perfectionism is a hamster wheel. And that's perfect way to start talking about perfectionism, is letting that go and just keep going, right? Perfectionism is a hamster wheel, powered by fear and shame. And the only way to get off is having compassion for yourself and extending it to others. Compassion requires patience. You make mistakes. You weren't perfect. You're a human. The intolerance of our own mistakes is an intolerance of the process of learning. It is the enthusiast of being patient with ourselves and giving ourselves grace and the space to figure things out. You need less criticism and more compassion. I love that. And I didn't fully read it until now. And I'm very grateful I picked that, because when you start to learn how to have patience with yourself, it reflects onto other people. That's why introspection and shadow work, all of these things are very, very, very important in the process of healing that lifelong journey that we've taken on in this human experience. And you have to learn how to incorporate it with yourself first. Because when you're not kind to yourself, you're not filling up your cup, you're not giving yourself patience, you're not giving yourself love, you're not giving yourself gratitude. How can you have any energy to do that for anyone else when you're not even doing it for yourself? Take a deep breath in with me. Deep breath out. I'd like to pull a random page out of Stillness Speaks by Eckhart Tolle. Just, Spirit, please just guide us to a page, passage, a phrase, anything that you think me and the collective need to hear today. It turned me to page 27. The mind is incessantly looking, not only for food. The mind is incessantly looking, not only for food for thought. It is looking for food for its identity, its sense of self. This is how the ego comes into existence and continuously creates itself. When you think or speak about yourself, when you say I, what you usually refer to is me and my story. This is the I of your likes and dislikes, fears and desires. The I that is never satisfied for long. It is a mind-made sense of who you are, conditioned by the past and seeking to find its fulfillment in the future. Can you see that I is fleeting? A temporary formation, like a wave pattern on the surface of water. Who is it that sees this? Who is it that is aware of the fleetingness of your physical and psychological form? I am, that is the deeper I. That has nothing to do with past and future. What will be left of all the fearing and wanting associated with your problematic life situation that every day takes up most of your attention? A dash, 1 or 2 inches long, between the date of birth and date of death on your gravestone. To the egotic self that is a depressing thought to you, it is liberating. When each thought absorbs your attention completely, it means you identify with the voice in your head. Thought then becomes invested with a sense of self. This is the ego, a mind-made me. That mentally constructed self feels incomplete and precarious. That's why fearing and wanting are its predominant emotions and motivating forces. When you recognize that there is a voice in your head that pretends to be you and never stops speaking, you are awakening out of your unconscious identification with a stream of thinking. When you notice that voice, you realize that who you are is not the voice, the thinker, but the one who is aware of it. Knowing yourself as the awareness behind the voice is freedom. That was a longer tangent and rant than I thought. But, whenever you just are in that moment and feel like you need to speak through what is coming through and what you're reading, you just go with the flow, okay? The divine will really teach you that. Sometimes time isn't on what you think it should be. We want to control all these things in life. We want to identify ourselves with everything and possessions and all these things whenever none of it is in our control. Let go. Let go and just surrender to what is and what's going to be. The past, the present, none of that is here right now. It doesn't matter. It truly doesn't. That's why all of the materialistic things that this world has tried to teach us is important. It's so important to shed that thought because it does not matter. Yes, there's things we need to, do the things we need to do to keep ourselves safe in this human experience. But at the end of the day, these things are not important. If you have all the basic needs that you have met, all that other crap is just irrelevant. Being here, alive, breathing, experiencing all that life has to offer, the good, the bad, the hard, thank goodness I'm allowed to. Thank goodness I'm blessed enough to be on this earth and experience it. There's people who never made it to the age I've made it to. There's people who have never awakened and gotten to this part of freedom that I have healed myself to. And of course, still on a lifelong journey of that. But this is a blessing. Me being in this present moment is a blessing. And I know that the more I show up for myself, the more I'm showing up for the collective, because I am just a reflection of you. And that's why I love when people create their art and speak their truth, because every time they've done it, it's helped me do the same. And that's why I will continue to show up on this platform and do what I feel called to do, no matter what anyone has to say or what anybody doesn't have to say, because this is me and my purpose. This is me against me. That's what this life has always been. We're taught whenever we're raised sometimes that you're in competition with another person, maybe for a medal or maybe for a trophy. But y'all, none of that matters. This life is you against your brain. None of that matters. This life is you against you. And if you can get through all of the illusions and distractions that this life sends you, and a lot of those come to your head, you'll find a freedom that a lot of people never find on this earth. And that's when you can actually really live in your being. And I pray that for everyone. I pray that the more I consciously awaken, the more everyone else around me will. And I know that's to be true because I've watched it, I've witnessed it, I've experienced it, and I can feel the shifts in the collective energy. And I guess this kind of became more of a talking sit down than yoga, because all I feel like doing right now is talking. I feel like getting real and honest. And in all honesty, it's hard to start your healing, and it's hard to see the amount of work you've put in to get to where you are in the present moment. It's hard to think you're ever doing enough. Life is hard. There's so many things that we're taught that are just not right. I mean, it's not black and white. It's not black and white where it's right or wrong, but there's just a lot of toxic teachings that we're meant to shed, because I really feel like this generation has came through to break through waves that was just always meant for us to break through. And I'm not one to hate on the other generations, because I think we all play our part in the awakening of consciousness. I think all of us have experienced life maybe multiple times or maybe just a couple. And I'm never going to discredit those who came before us, because they have carved the path for us to do what we're doing now. And I don't know, I'm just so grateful to be alive when you've been someone who was on the other part of that, not wanting to be alive for a certain part of their life. When you find that other sense of peace, when you find that sense of stability in just your inner being, knowing that there's no real stability in this life. The only stability that there really is the one you can create within yourself, is when you can really start to see, like, I was meant to go through those things to get to me to where I'm at. I was meant to go through the things I went through because there's people who didn't survive the things I've been through that I've survived. I was meant to go through those things to share my story. And that's why I feel so called to do that, because I was built to do it. That's just what it is. As much as I don't want it to be that, that's what it is. And I don't even want to say doesn't want it to be that. It's just a big badge to carry. And it's something you for a while will kind of step through alone, or it feels like you're alone, because there's a lot of support you can't see from your spirit guides, the divine universe, God, whatever you want to, identify with. It can feel like a lonely journey, but we're never truly alone in this life. That's why there's so many different elements of earth and liveliness that's been on this earth. Nature is with us. animals are with us. Our spirit team is with us. Our soul family is with us. They are on the same path, and eventually you're going to be walking in your purpose with them. Just like, 4 years ago, I couldn't imagine myself where I'm at now. Like, we're always walking towards our purpose. And you just have to believe it. You just have to find some faith. And it's a hard thing to do, but it's a worthy thing to go through. And it all starts by looking within yourself. And that's one of the hardest things people could ever do. And that's why a lot of us don't do it. And I send love to people who've made those decisions, because it's a battlefield. It's a it's a darkness that sometimes you don't think you'll ever find the light through, but when you do, you'll realize that every single one of those dark moments was just building you and teaching you to who you were always meant to become. So I guess whoever this, was supposed to find, maybe it was part of me just needing to say it myself. Keep going on your path even if you don't feel the support. Keep going on your path even if you think you're alone. Keep going, because you're not alone. There's soul family. There's aligned beings out there that are going to run right into you a lot sooner than you could imagine. Because the more you walk in your purpose, the more your soul family is doing the same. You're bound to run into each other. Whenever you are the energy that you're meant to be in, you're magnetic. And magnetically, you attract that energy. And I know with the holidays, it can be hard, especially as like a creative. Like, sometimes the hardest battles is going through the things and realizing that some people are not meant to see your purpose. Some people are not meant to understand what you're doing, and that's okay. It's between you and God. It's between you and the universe. It's between you and your higher self. Some people ain't put on this earth to walk the path with you. Some people are meant to be the teacher. Some people are meant to be the villain. Sometimes that's your stepmom. Sometimes that's your sibling. Sometimes that's your best friend. When you detach from the titles that you've given these people, you realize that we're all just a soul. We're all just living the purpose we signed up for. But that's just what I feel like the universe is like speaking through me right now, because a lot of these things I am not like even thinking about. It's literally just coming out. So the more I show up, the more I feel connected, the more I feel in touch with my soul. And that's why I'm going to have to keep doing it, because I don't have a choice. This is a soul life I'm meant to live. I'm meant to live a life guided through the soul, through love, because that's the highest frequency on this earth. Gratitude, love, soul. Those are, they're just the things that can keep you grounded, okay? Girl's been talking for a while. But I guess I just needed to speak, and maybe someone needed to hear. If this video found you, I'm so grateful it did. Of course, it was probably meant to. Something that I said in here was meant to find you. And I'm gonna get finished on the video I was planning on recording. So thank you so much for watching this video. Not sure when it'll be uploaded, but I know that it will be when it's meant to be. And 144, it said 1444, so 444. Girl, tell me life ain't magical. Tell me life ain't magical, because I'm not going to believe you, because the world has shown me time and time again that it's so beautiful and divine and magical. Like, there's so many things that's happening without you even knowing. Everything is working out for you. Everything is working out for me. I am such a lucky girl. Everything is always working out for my highest purpose and my highest potential. That's how you have to speak over your life. Do not let the negativity, don't let the energy drainers, don't let them take you. This is your soulful life that you're meant to live. It's you against you. And F anybody who tries to take you away from what you feel is your purpose. because they just might have no idea. And they just might not be the one knowledgeable enough on that subject. That's something I've had to learn as well through therapy 555. Sometimes you need to look at how people live their life and say, do I really need to take advice from you? Are you successful in what I'm trying to do? If not, maybe that's not the person you're meant to be talking to about your dreams, about your aspirations. Find aligned souls, 1616 on the timer, okay? Because they are out there. You will find your biggest cheerleader without even knowing. I have had soulful family find me this year, and I'll tell you right now, they will be your biggest cheerleaders, even if they're on the other side of the world. Your soul family will find you. Keep walking in your purpose, because you just might you might just run right into them tomorrow, girl, boo, whatever you identify as. Okay. Thank you so much for watching this video. I'm going to stop talking now because I could talk for a long time. A long time. I really want to go live, but I don't know when I'm going to do that. So, one step at a time. I'm not going to overwhelm myself, but you know, we coming and we pushing like a train going down a track. Okay, I'm going to see y'all next time. Bye. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe for more. 1717.